Okay, welcome to our annual meeting of SAPA TV. The first thing that we need to do is to approve the minutes from the 2023 annual meeting. And we'll just take a quick look at these. This is just for you to read through quickly from last year. And can we have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
That was Bryce. So, okay, all those
Go
in favor, say aye. Aye. Any no? Okay. So, all right, so I'm the president of SAPA TV. My name is Maria Johnson. This annual meeting and report covers the year from July 2023 through June of 2024. This time period completes a full 2 years that we have been in our new studio here at 335 River Street. Woo! Yeah. Johnny Gifford was our director from June 2023 to January 2024, and then Amy Parnell became the director from January through June of 2024. In our second year here, in our much more visible and accessible studio, we have certainly increased our outreach to the community, and our extended service is greatly utilized and appreciated by many more people. Johnny's personal interest brought in many music events using the studio and outdoor space for concerts. Amy's personal interest brought in many dance events and educational programming, such as the Miss Markey reading series for young people. Amy also helped to provide and film roller skating activities along with Jessica Martin and Springfield on the Move. This was during the summer of 2023, when she was still the production coordinator. She has continued the activity into this current production year. The transfer between directors worked very smoothly. M.K. Harrelson, let me say that better, M.K. Harrelson was hired to be the production coordinator and continues to help produce studio shows and help volunteers to film and edit individual productions. She also took on facilitating the Fresh Cut Film Festival. The actual film fest occurred in July, which is in the current year, but the extensive planning took place in the 23-24 year that we are reporting on. Her efforts are commendable. Kevin Paquette, our production manager, has done an excellent job of keeping programming on the air. He has stepped forward to maintain and improve many technological upgrades in this ever-changing media world. The solar eclipse program, created and presented by Kevin in this very room, was attended by 50 people. What a community connection SAPA TV made with that event, along with providing hundreds of eclipse glasses to the public, who also got a peek at our studio as they came in to get the glasses. Our staff has reached out to young people programming through our annual coordination with the RVTC Tech Group, the camp, and also filmed the Lego Club robotics competition. These connections have helped to inspire future filmmakers. Our volunteers and staff have done an excellent job of covering community events through our member towns of Chester, Wethersfield, and Springfield. Select board and school board meetings continue to be our most watched programming. Also important community events covered are the library programs, historical society programs, all the educational programs, many community nonprofit club and organization events, sports, music concerts, and political discussions. As I went back through and reviewed the monthly board packets and director reports to prepare for this annual report, I was reminded of the enthusiasm and outreach that our staff and volunteers pour into our SAPA efforts. We hear back from the public that our programming and PSAs have a direct effect on our communities, such as providing the information that helped to pass the school budgets. It is gratifying to hear of the important effect we have upon our communities. We appreciate everyone's effort in stepping up to make SAPA TV a success. Our staff, the meeting videographers, the people who make studio shows, the volunteers who go out into the community to film events and stories are vital to our success. We thank the Board of Directors for serving and guiding the management of SAPA TV. Bob Topolsky is stepping down from the board. We thank him for his service of representing Wethersfield for a couple of 3-year terms. When we moved into this space 2 years ago, we were thrilled with the new look. We had a direct hand in designing the layout. As time has progressed and new staff members continually put their personal touches on the space with rebranding, we are even more thrilled with the studio and its efficient organization and nature-inspired, environmentally friendly atmosphere. I'm sure you enjoyed walking through. Of course, it's got a little bit of the Halloween creepiness now instead of friendly environmental, but it's seasonal. With all of SAPA TV's enthusiasm and wonderful coverage of events, SAPA TV is truly the heartbeat of the community. We have great confidence in SAPA TV's future and look forward to continued use of our resources by the public as we continue to be a vital part of our communities. Okay, and the next thing is the director's report.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab a glass of water real quick.
That's what I need.
Would you like me to get you one, Marina?
Yeah.
Hi, come on in.
This is part of the new branding that Amy and MK and Kevin worked out. And she got it right there on the
Oh.
TV, a little bit of old time. You know, people still do know what old TVs look like. I was concerned about that. Do young people still know what old TVs look
We did ask some kids.
Yeah, you know what this is.
Kid approved.
And we missed, with all of the moving and everything in the pandemic, we kind of missed our 25th year anniversary. So we decided to call it 25 years and counting. So we're a little bit late, but we're always counting, you know, for the future.
Board members, community partners, producers, filmmakers, and supporters of SAPA TV, good evening. If you're in this room, I imagine that we've had a chance to connect at some point in the last 18 months that I've been working here at SAPA, or perhaps even before that. But in case we haven't yet, I wanted to share a brief summary of my background and experience. I began making documentary films in 2003 as a Peace Corps volunteer in Gabon, Africa, to bring locally relevant stories to the community I serve. I have 2 decades of experience in community outreach, media, and education. I'm a credentialed elementary school teacher with a BA in psychology and a year of graduate work in counseling psychology, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor. Prior to working at SAPA, I launched and directed my own state-licensed, mostly outdoor preschool, and I've also managed logistics for the Warner Brothers production of Tarzan in Gabon, and translated a series of natural history guidebooks from French to English.
Oh, there he goes.
I think it finally died.
I knocked him right over. Since 2017, my husband and I have lived in the Dutton district near Mount Ephraim in Springfield with our now 8-year-old son and our 2 sweet kitties. I joined SAPA as production coordinator in April of 2023. I am the 4th director. Sorry, that's okay.
There's a chair in the back with a skeleton.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you want a chair? Would you like a chair too?
Good. Sorry.
I'm the 4th director at SAPA in as many years. The transition through the pandemic times and our relocation from the high school was not for the faint of heart. And I am grateful to my predecessors for the work they did to build the foundation of When I was handed the torch in January of this year, I knew I was inheriting the stewardship of a rich and living history of our community. I also knew that with my background in grassroots community outreach, we had great potential to foster and amplify positive change in the places we serve. I am thrilled to report on our activities from the past fiscal year, as we have seen, recorded, participated in, and shared so many positive developments. It is our honor to share your stories. Our mission at SAPA TV is to promote literacy, government transparency, and community connections in the towns of Springfield, Weathersfield, and Chester, Vermont, and the surrounding area. So first, media literacy. We have a strong focus on providing opportunities for young people to become involved in filmmaking, television production, and innovation. This June at RVTC Tech Camp, 48 teens made films for our inaugural Fresh Cut Film Festival. In addition to those teens, approximately 35 elementary level kids in our community also made films for Fresh Cut Film Festival. 4 middle school students created films at the Filmmaking 101 workshop we held at the Springfield Town Library in April. And in November 2023, we participated in RVTC's Girls in Tech After School program and trained several students on making music videos with Adobe Premiere video editing software. At that program, we also encountered a future intern, Caroline, who is here and helped set up for this meeting today. While this is a brand new development and not an activity that began in the last fiscal year, I just wanted to mention, or include a mention of the new elementary school level First Lego League Robotics Club that SAPA is helping to facilitate and hosting in our facility while they're permanent home at parents. It's exciting.
And that picture right there was on, and it's right in this room.
That was 2 days ago on Tuesday night. So they got to see this first. And we became aware of our community's nationally renowned River Valley Rats Robotics and Aerial Drone team this January when we covered the first ever competition hosted in Vermont at RMS. One of the middle schoolers on their team, Adler Gleason, who is the son of Lisa and the brother of Marin, captured drone footage and then helped edit the Lace Up for Laura race in June. He was so excited and enthusiastic about it. It was really great to see. We see huge potential for creative cross-pollination in this new third space with the synergistic resources and missions of SAPA, BRIC, RVTC, the Robotics Club, and the Springfield Art Gym, all housed in the same place. We also see an opportunity to leverage this new initiative for increased funding in a time of decreasing cable revenues. I envision claymation, papercraft, Lego stop motion workshops, drone photography training, and more being offered to our community through this developing partnership, so stay tuned. We do not limit our training efforts by age. At our editing stations over the past year, we have worked with all ages from middle schoolers to retirees. This year, we developed a new partnership with the Springfield Town Library to provide enhanced access to editing stations through a virtual seat that can be accessed from the library or anywhere. STL uses this access to edit their own videos of the extensive programming they offer, and we are exploring the possibility of offering the service to library patrons and other community members as well. The Springfield Town Democratic Committee has also subscribed to a virtual seat in order to edit their show, Blue Diligence, at times and locations that are convenient to them. In February, we hosted an onboarding training on Splashtop and video editing software and filmed it for future use. We are excited about the potential to expand editing access to our community producers in this way. Government transparency. In the last fiscal year, we covered 157 municipal and school board meetings. Staying true to our mission to promote government transparency and a platform for free speech, we also provided opportunities for community members across the political spectrum to share their diverse views on local and state politics. In our studio and out in the community, local productions included political PSAs, virtual and in-person interviews with Dick McCormick, Allison Clarkson, Alice Emmons, Becca White, and Sarah Copeland-Hanzas on due diligence, and opportunities for local candidate nights to discuss issues in depth on Puggy's Corner, as well as live streams of Governor Scott's budget address and Springfield Town Library's Meet the Candidates Forum. We also provided an opportunity for Springfield's June Goodband to film and edit her own PSA of her announcement for candidacy for governor. In this election cycle, we are committed to providing our community with a platform for civil discourse and the sharing of factual information that helps our electorate to stay informed on issues that matter locally and beyond. Community connections. At our core, SAPA TV is a vehicle for community members to communicate and connect in ways that matter deeply. Last summer, a time of extreme hardship in our state due to the July 2023 flooding, we hosted FEMA representatives in our studio and also filmed PSAs on location to help community members access resources and assistance so they could begin to recover from the impacts of the disaster. We facilitated the filming of several PSAs that bolstered our community in meaningful ways. Kevin's Humane Society PSAs, a bike program PSA at Union Street School, a Springfield Downtown Holiday PSA telling about all the events that people can participate in, the Charlestown Community Power Coalition PSA, the Weathersfield School Budget PSA, the Springfield School Budget PSA, and North Star Health Food as Medicine. We share and celebrate the beauty of our local arts and music scene. In the past year, we filmed and shared performances by Avant Vermont Dance, Uplift Acrobatics, The Dance Factory, Springfield Senior Songsters, Springfield Community Band Concerts, Buzzwell Family Music, EPA Jazz, Springfield Community Players, the SAPA Sessions music performances in our studio, Weathersfield School's Beauty and the Beast, and the ukulele performance of Senior Solutions. We amplify the stories and conversations that weave the rich tapestry of who we are as a community. Veterans interviews, library programs and community conversations, holiday presentations, Weathersfield conservation hike, the Chester Business Coalition's flood recovery efforts, the Black Lives Matter 40/40 shows about their efforts in the community. So various presentations about our universe, Senior Solutions annual meeting, the Chester Vermont Volleyball League's tournament, legacy videos at Senior Solutions Memory Cafe, and we met all the hardworking folks at the Springfield Transfer Station, the Springfield Town Library, Turning Point Recovery Center, and Springfield High School's Aware program on due diligence. We record and archive the history that's happening now in the canon of annual traditions, both new and long established. The alumni parades, the Donut Dash, Street Fest, the Parent-Child Center Duck Run, concerts at the Contu, the Fall Festival in Chester, Nutcracker performances, Veterans Day ceremonies, and it goes on. Anyone who says there's nothing to do around here is not paying attention. We've provided support to community members as they create meaning in hard times and loss through the medium of film, and have recorded their journeys as they rise up with hope and determination. The Sevka Goodbye Tour's closing day, the late Chris Burge's Brain Injury Alliance, Prouty and Kelly Brush Ride documentaries and yoga videos, and Darren Spalding's memorial service, as well as Lisa Favora. We've invited folks to connect with us in new ways with the SAPA Free Library, the Eclipse Glasses giveaway and talk, the Rock in the Lot music series, the Rollin' on the River roller skating events, and Fresh Cut Film Festival. We've shared the unique and wonderful voices from our community with the wider world with our nationally syndicated Word Time with Miss Markey, our newest show, Music with Tony, longtime shows Bound for the Promised Land and Doing Life, and our Stellafane Centennial Celebration documentary, which was screened for several hundred people at the opening evening program at this year's convention, and is also a top 3 finalist in the documentary category at the Alliance for Community Media Northeast Awards this December. We're also working to foster community partnerships with local stakeholders. I joined the Economic Development Committee here in Springfield. MK attended the Springfield High School Volunteer Fair. We both regularly attend the monthly Brick Digital Collective Breakfast for networking. attended the creative sector convening in Bellows Falls in May, and we collaborate on community projects with Springfield 802, Senior Solutions, Springfield on the Move, Edgar May, Parent Child Center, All for One, Springfield High School alumni, Springfield Parks and Recreation, Springfield Public Safety, the Springfield Town Library, as well as our local schools. Challenges. There were some. We had a short ED, executive director handover in the midst of two major capital projects. I needed to quickly familiarize myself with the financials and be logistically astute for materials and equipment purchasing, as I did not yet have credentials to make purchases on the SAPA accounts. The AV upgrades in Chester were also impacted by handover-related purchasing issues that caused a delay in installation, along with a learning curve on the technology, which required a deep dive on the software settings and help from a network consultant. The wireless mics that were originally purchased were unreliable, so we absorbed that cost and purchased a different brand. This was an unbudgeted expense of $778. The positive side of this purchase was that Chester only needed 5 microphones, and purchasing 2 packs was more economical, so now we have a good quality wireless microphone for interviewing people on location. We also needed to increase our layout server storage from the original purchase. This was an unbudgeted expense of $3,579. But on the positive side, Kevin managed to keep our old hard drives, and we are now using those, valued at approximately $1,000, as backup drives for community members. We had some technical issues at the town meeting. I joined the team after the town meeting in 2023, so I'd never experienced one before, and I made some mistakes. What I learned is that the Springfield High School auditorium is not the right venue for this meeting. We had far more online participants than in person, so a smaller physical space would be more appropriate, and we would have better audio quality for all. And I'm happy to report that we will be having it in the cafeteria this year. The big challenge right now is financial. Our cable revenue is declining. It's gone down by about 5% from fiscal year 22-23 to 23-24, and I project that it will go down an additional 7% this year. So this translates to $24,000 less than what we received 2 years ago. Our savings account is pretty low at the moment because we had some higher capital expenditures related to relocation and construction. We were at 413% of our budgeted amount for construction. That's $3,135. Major equipment purchases and the additional payroll expenses of the executive director turnover, which ended up being 113% of the budgeted amount, or $2,769 over. And in this coming year, in addition to these challenges, we are anticipating $20,000 less in Vermont legislative funding that we were allocated in the previous year. So the capital expenditures that we had were the playout server. We're using the old one as archival storage space. And the additional storage that we purchased is going to serve us for the next 7 to 10 years. We built a dividing wall in our storage area and renovated materials in the room to create a new rentable private office space. You all met John as he walked out. That's our tenant there. This rental earns $3,000 per year. We also purchased a new desktop video switcher computer for our control room. Our total capital expenses were $48,150. Now, successes. In fiscal year 2023, our expenses were at 117% of budget and our income at 99%. And this last year, we were right on target at 100%. The bright spot in our financial picture is that in the last fiscal year, we fundraised $2,226, which was a 445% increase on the budgeted amount, and 258% of what we fundraised in the previous year. In the first first quarter of this fiscal year, we have already raised 55% of what we raised in the whole last fiscal year. And it's 150% of what we raised in the fiscal year previously. So we are on track to raise more money ourselves. This does not close the funding gap that we're facing, but we have been strategically building our brand, reputation, and reach through community outreach, quality programming, efficient operations, and strategic social media management in order to develop an attractive product that will be marketable to funding partners. And as I mentioned above, service demands are increasing. While we have the same number of staff, we have to work smarter in order to maintain balance while meeting these additional needs. To this effect, we have completed a fabulous office glow-up, created a new website and logo, an employee and volunteer handbook, updated our policies and procedures manual, developed an outside spiritual program policy, installed a new video security system that records and timestamps all entries to the building through the main door, created a monitoring and diagnostic system in our server room, wrote complete job descriptions with workflow protocols for coverage when an employee is out, digitized our equipment lending library membership form and syndication form, and created a master spreadsheet of all videos edited and their status, which greatly simplifies payroll and production communications. In June 2024, I was elected to the Vermont Access Network Board of Directors at the annual meeting. So now I have access to mentorship through monthly meetings with seasoned VAN EDs, as well as an opportunity to help guide the future of our industry. I have direct access to the latest information from our peer stations, the VAN advocacy group, the data committee, and others. And I will also be assisting them in the development of a new VAN ED onboarding protocol. I get to be their guinea pig. Finally, our goals for the coming year. We want to increase accessibility through public events, third space development, internships, and trainings. We're going to continue to organize the events that we've been doing because they're really fun. And the kids have fun, and the people who participate enjoy them. So we want to make sure that all the materials, all the venues are accessible, that they engage diverse community members. We want to publicize and create a structure for our new third space. And we want to develop our internship programs focused on underrepresented groups in order to enhance skills and job readiness, and also to take a little bit off our plate. If we have an intern who's can do the editing, we have a little more time to do all the other things we do. Secure the future. Fundraising, we want to implement a strategic fundraising campaign to support our initiatives, aiming for specific financial targets to ensure sustainability. We want to build and strengthen our partnerships with local organizations and businesses to leverage resources and expand our impact. And in advocacy, we'll schedule meetings with our local and state representatives, other community partners, attend the weekly Zoom advocacy calls to mobilize support and keep the community informed of state-level developments in our industry, and engage with the VAN Board of Directors to align our advocacy efforts with our mission. And what we need to get there? More resources, additional funding, community engagement, active participation from community members in our events and in our advocacy efforts, and collaboration, support from local organizations and stakeholders to enhance our outreach and our effectiveness. One of the ways that we could raise additional funding, I have been shared this information by the Board of Directors for the Vermont Access Network. Most stations do charge for their meetings and have an annual contract. If we were to follow this in the same way that the other stations do, our income could potentially increase by $9,275 and offset the $3,200 that we currently last year paid in video also covered 70 select board meetings and 3 town meetings. Weathersfield and Springfield both contributed $700 per year to SAPA for meeting coverage. Other stations are charging a lot more than we are charging.
Go ahead.
Our total income last year was $263,947. $263,947. Our Comcast operating income was $133,841,000. Numbers, I'm sorry. Our Comcast capital income was $13,384. Our VTEL operating was $47,305. Our VTEL capital was $4,965. Our legislative grant last year was $45,000. The municipal contribution that we received from Springfield was $700, and our rental income was $15,300. We earned $399 in interest, $2,226 in fundraising and underwriting, and $169 in duplication fees. Our total expense was $284,097. Our operating expenses, which is payroll, supplies, and utilities, was $235,947, and our capital expenses were $48,150, and that went to the things I talked about before. Before we get into board members, MK has made something wonderful for you all to enjoy.
Springfield Area Public Access Television. Another year to be thankful for. Covering Springfield, Wethersfield, and Chester, Vermont. Capturing moments and memories, over 50 documented local events, 237 locally produced shows, 18 community arts performances, 157 meetings covered, 3 Rock in the Lot events, 3 nights of Rollin' on the River, with over 100 attendees, documenting open conversations with local politicians, live dance, and the spirit of each town.
Can you make that one longer? And the spirit of each town, just to say it much
Slower?
'cause
Okay.
that part of the video is really long.
Okay. 30 new Miss Markey shows. Bound for the Promised Land reached episode 331. The show Doing Life came back. New businesses were showcased. A new face started the show Music with Tony. While we still got to enjoy familiar faces along the way. Supporting our towns with pride and joy, while discussing tough topics. We are proud to have worked with Chris Burge and continue to be inspired by his compassion. His photographs remain displayed in his memory, and his documentary BIAVT Walk and Roll won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the inaugural Fresh Cut Film Festival. We continued support of democracy. Blue Diligence made 6 more episodes, while multiple political events were recorded and candidates were interviewed on air. 13 new presentations of Osher Lifelong Learning Institute were recorded. And an entire new documentary was created on the history of cellophane. RVTC hosted the first aerial drone competition in Vermont and was nationally recognized. The local drone and robotics team showed that small Vermont towns are a force to be reckoned with. We taught 80 kids how to make their own films and got to enjoy old traditions alongside the newer ones. We experienced the joy of our community and the pride of being a part of it. Thank you for contributing to something that is larger than us. For listening to the big voices just as much as the little ones. For helping us to amplify the beauty that surrounds us. Encouraging everyone to share their own perspectives and experiences. This is what makes us public access. This is what makes us Vermont. As we continue to document future generations and our current community, we thank you for contributing and look forward to another great year. You are why we are here. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you, the wonderful report, and Amy and MK and Kevin. And thank you all for being here. You are a part of it. You were in the video, showing all the part that you've done. Okay, the next things, and so we have the financial report, and our treasurer is Mark Blanchard in the back, and he gave Amy the go-ahead. He said, "Go ahead," and she continued with the financial report.
I tried my best.
So that was part of his job and his part of being on the board. So now we have nominations of the board, and Bryce Honeywell, would you come up and present these on the nominating committee?
Okay, for a 3-year term for 2024 to 27, we have Becky or Rebecca Tucker, and we have Ian Kelly Henshaw, and Chuck Gregory. So those three.
Okay, and Becky is here. Stand up. She's been on the board for several terms, and Ann Kelly Henshaw is there. She's from Chester, and Chuck Gregory is right there. So those are our 3 nominations for board. Thank you, Bryce. And can we have a motion to accept the nominating committee recommendations for the board members?
I make that motion.
Okay, that was Bob Topolsky.
I'll second it.
And who was that?
I'll second it.
Mark Blanchard seconded. And our treasurer is in the back, Mark Richardson, who's writing things down. So
I would move that we instruct the secretary to cast the vote in favor of the slate of officers that have been nominated and adopt that as a motion.
Okay, so the motion is to adopt the whole slate of officers. Yes. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any? No? Okay, good. Thank you. So. And at this point, we're going to adjourn the meeting and go on to the awards. So can we have a motion to adjourn this annual meeting? Bryce and Bruce. Bryce moved and Bruce Johnson seconded it. Okay, so we are adjourned. So now we're going to have the awards and recognitions. Okay. Yes, you want to go back and read that? Right, like the skeleton, I'll sit. Can you pull that?
I sure can.
So,
Thanks. You're very welcome.
thank you. So our first award goes to our new bronze producer, I think. Certified bronze producer, Tony Jacobini. Did I say that? Jacobini or Jacobini?
Oh, Jacobini.
Jacobini. Tony Jacobini.
You did good. Well, thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing. Here, come stand up here so MK can take your picture.
Thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you.
He wasn't able to attend today, but Huggy Lamphere also is the bronze producer. Next bronze producer is Evan Parks.
Oh.
And also thank you for helping us with our Our next bronze producer is Judah Vanderbilt. The silver producers, we have Springfield Town Library represented by Sue.
Thank you to MK and Amy for being so patient.
Brenda Farkas couldn't make it tonight, but she's also a silver producer. We have Shar Osman of Blue Diligence. The late Chris Bird is also a silver producer. Amber Ham of the Chester Historical Society, who's unable to be here tonight, but I'm going to mail her her certificate. And then moving on up to gold producers, we have Marita Johnson. And another in-house gold producer, Johnny wasn't able to make it tonight, but he's also a gold producer for SAPA, the Sax fiscal year. Now, platinum producers, between 20 and 29 programs. You actually did 30 this week. Alex is working
currently
next
working
door.
on
But
the other
let's hear it for our
side.
videographer, Alexander Mora. And our dear Larry Shirk with 300 and how many?
31 and counting, so we're now at well over that.
Yeah, go Larry. Actually, that he was a double platinum producer because he did 36 shows. And Bryce Honeywell. Right, and then also not able to make it because videographers are busy people. Logan Perron, who covers all of our Weathersfield and Chester meetings. I also made some shows. Hold on, here, let me pretend. Oh, no. It's hard enough. Hold on, I'll get it. It's in my office. It's going to be a picture too, I wasn't sure what the protocol was because I signed my own. Later on, I can show you the cool Photoshop thing that MK made of me presenting myself. Okay, and now, big awards. Final awards. Our best new producer.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do.
Oh, it's got a cooler sticker.
These are the big awards. You get an extra
It's
fancy
been a great
sticker.
experience.
And our videographer of the year is Logan
Thank you.
Perron.
No problem.
And last but certainly not least, our producer of the year, Marky Lawrence. Thank you all for coming. That concludes the meeting and awards portion. Now it's time for the potluck. We have lots of chairs here. We also have a new upstairs space, so if you want to load up a plate and go sit up in the greenhouse atrium, we haven't decided what to call it yet, but it's really pretty and nice. There are also some seats in our little kitchen staff area. You all saw the table when you came in the lobby, so just make yourselves comfy, get some good food. Plates are on this side. The cutlery is all over there by where the camera is because that way you don't have to hold your cutlery while you're loading your plate. So we might need a little help actually putting the chairs back into the art gym because they let us borrow them tonight. If each person that's sitting on a chair could just carry their chair on in there, that would really help us. Thank you.